Silent of goal! Liquid's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Bernie! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Monopoint's there! He's still alive! Wait for a second slide! He's got one side! He's got a second! He's taking it! Oh my god! On three! They're all dead!
And we're back for the Summit 2 by gtoy.com. Of course, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD. He's Merleezy. Ben, we got Tinker 3-0 facing off against a tilting, well, maybe not tilting, but struggling Fnatic for sure.
They changed their drafter.
2-3. They've changed their drafter apparently midday. They've done a different strategy every game. At least in the Summit, most of them haven't been working, to be honest. And well, they're into the meat of the schedule now, man. They got to play some tough opponents.
They have some very skilled players, but just haven't found what works for them.
That's for sure. And, well, that draft is underway, folks. We're going to hop in now. Fnatic on the Radiant. Tinker won the toss. They elected for Dire. Most teams have been actually going for their first pick or Radiant. So, at least in China, that was certainly the case. Almost everyone first pick or Radiant. But
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Shadow Demon versus Legion Commander. It's actually a pretty good counter. Or in terms of just countering the duel. But still not terribly good at zoning Legion Commander out.
yeah, they'll need a support with some actual damage here if they want to do that. And generally, we've seen that Legion in the off lane in pro play. We haven't really seen it going mid that much. Rarely, maybe as in like a dual lane situation, but yeah, it's a pretty strong damage lineup for Tinker early on. Single target heavy, but they can burst anyone. And well, I like the Skywrath especially with the Legion. You duel, you Mystic Flare, they give you their damage.
Easy.
Yeah.
Shadow Demon has to be really quick on the reaction time. And, I mean, they also have Lasso 2, which press the attack is also very good against if you can actually get into position for. And, as you said, they do have a lot of just single target spells. I guess Overwhelming Odds is some form of AoE.
Yeah, we saw that the other day. A team picked Legion to try and deal with Bat, but it doesn't have the longest range to purge the lasso. And there were a lot of times where Bat still got off the lasso. They were never able to dispel it, and it was still very effective. So I'm interested to see how well it actually works this game for Tinker. If they're going to be in range to make it happen. They pick up a Weaver now, natural Lincoln Sphere builder. And that's another way to try and deal with your Bat Rider lasso. Not really much proper lockdown for that Weaver.
If there were a hard counter for Bat Rider, he wouldn't be first pick every game.
Yeah, that's for sure. Especially with some of the nerfs recently where his laning stage isn't that scary. So
Yeah, he's still just really difficult to deal with. You know, Weaver can roam, or sorry, can just 1v1 versus Bat Rider while the two supports roam. It's one of the most common solo heroes versus Bat Rider, I'd say. A lot of the other carries just get schooled by Bat Rider in lane.
yeah, Fnatic with the new drafter, Come With Me, taking care of that. What do they do here, Ben? You were sleeping during the last game, but they ran a tiny core, Centaur 4 or 5, or I guess you'd call him 4 position support. The Ogre was kind of your 5, later ended up becoming the 4 when he got his Aghanims. But 2 pretty greedy melee supports. They went for some early ganks with the tiny Rushy Arcane Boots. They had the triple Blink Dagger initiation from a Bat Rider, a Mag, and the Centaur, who's a support. And then they just kind of fell off. They tried to go late game against Medusa. That didn't work at all. Medusa and Death Prophet just wrecked the 4 melee heroes late, and
They Terrorblade.
yeah,
That's what they do.
Do they Terrorblade?
I think they should.
It's not really I don't think Fnatic has run that hero much at all.
Tinker doesn't have that much AoE. They have Bloodlust with it too. They have a defensive Shadow Demon too. Also works well with the illusions. And I don't know. It seems decent here. Not amazing, but good enough. Fnatic have not really been running too much flavor of the month heroes. And Team Tinker with another anti-Bat Rider hero.
Yeah, they've got 2 ways to deal with that shield now. Or that lasso now. Aphotic shield and press the attack. And if Weaver gets a Lincoln Sphere, like, good luck actually ganking him. They don't really have much in the way of team fight here, though. Very single target heavy. Very spread the map type of draft so far for Tinker. And not many proper stuns either. Just press, or just the duel. That's it.
Still, a lot of damage coming out from their first 3 heroes. and Abaddon will make Weaver have a much easier time than before, and it's decent versus multicast. Again, these have to have like really, really fast reactions versus Bat Rider Ultimate and like a Ogre multicast if you want to save somebody, or else the burst from Fnatic is just going to be ridiculous, and that's without their last two.
Yeah, what are those last two going to be? We saw the Tiny last game. They have that Ogre Magi support. They kind of have just a casual Shadow Demon pick for now. It's, like you mentioned, nice against Legion, but Disruption doesn't really set up for anything here. There's no Morana either. That was banned out.
Remember the days of the SD Luna? That was extremely popular, and it's very good at sieging towers, but yeah, Shadow Demon not really paired with too many heroes. There it is.
Alright, good call.
It's good for pushing towers. It's also a lot of physical damage, which you want from a just straight right click instead of like something like Sleight of Fist versus Legion Commander. If you ever do get in a duel, then you can just wreck them instead of having like the heroes that do damage versus with like, you know, Terrorblade
like,
with his illusions and
or
other
spell damage.
Yeah.
Also, if you pop Eclipse before the duel, that can just destroy a Legion Commander as well.
But at the same time, none of the other heroes really synergize with like the early push aside from Shadow Demon.
Bloodlust is going to be good later on, but not going to offer you too much for your Luna early to mid game. It's always nice, but really hits its stride once she's got the Glaze maxed and the full damage aura.
In Team Tinker, lacking a mid last, I suppose. I think Ember's pretty good here. They don't have that much physical damage, or they don't have that much physical damage. His shield would be pretty good here. Very elusive versus Bat.
That would kind of be like a
what else?
beachy game.
How did
match,
Panda get to last ban rather?
It's not a hero that Fnatic have run with much success. We saw them try to run it for a Rise.
Yeah,
that was a disaster.
That was miserable.
I'm actually not sure. Tinker is one of the few European teams I have really not gotten a chance to see at all. I know they've been doing really well, but I'm not sure how much they run the brew. I'm going to try to look that up.
Other options for Sing Sing. I mean, pretty much anything, I suppose. They don't really have a good mid laner yet for Fnatic, so no counter picking in that sense. But yeah, I don't really see anything that really stands out to me as a great pick for Tinker. Just whatever suits their fancy, whatever Sing Sing wants to play. Pretty flexible mid. You can also do Ogre. Ogre's decent here too, or not Ogre, Meepo. Although I haven't seen any team pick Meepo in a really long time.
Yeah, Meepo's just gone dark. I saw one of the SEA teams run it randomly, but I think it might have been Arrow just like they pick Meepo for DDZ when they're just kind of messing around and eliminated from tournaments. They never seem to run it in big matches. Well, Sing Sing, what they are a bit light on the team fight. All right, so they go for Tidehunter. That definitely shores them up in that front. Gives them a solution for the lasso as well. Lasso's going to be close to useless. You can Kraken Shell it off. You can double Purge it off.
You know,
there's a Lincoln Sphere builder here.
We always say that. Lasso's going to be useless, and then it rarely.
Okay, well, that's
in theory it should be useless.
If it's not useless this game, then that's because Fnatic played incredibly well.
So a lot of the games that Fnatic recently lost, I actually think has been due to Arise not performing up to par on his Death Prophet we saw yesterday, as well as his Brewmaster. His OD is actually really, really good. I would say probably his second best hero next to his Magnus. So this is a good pick for a Fnatic.
And he's going to have an easy lane, unless the Scarlet Mage is just constantly dual laning him, which they may even have to do.
And they have
who's going to beat an OD mid here? None of these heroes.
Tide can do like okay. Weaver can also do like mediocre, but none of them will beat him or should come close to even on CS. And they also have like the dual invulnerable disrupt too. Very good versus Mystic Flare as well as dual.
Yeah.
Very good.
Both teams, well, fairly well-rounded drafts. So you've got offlaners that offer you some crowd control. You've got dual core on each in the form of the Legion Commander and the Weaver for one side, the Luna and the OD for the other. But I'm looking forward to this mid-game for Tinker. I haven't seen a successful Legion Commander in some time. I've watched a lot, but haven't gotten to cast any. So hoping that we get some here. We'll see Saint Saint heading bottom now, introducing Team Tinker 3-0 so far in the Summit 2. He'll be heading to the bottom lane. That puts EGM on your Batten, joining him there as well. Koikfa the Tidehunter with the boots first. That puts Boba on your Scarth Mage, and, well, in the hands of Pycat will go the Legion Commander. On the Radiant side, Fnatic 2-3 in the Summit 2. They've been struggling as of late. They need to start putting wins on the board, or they won't even have a shot at the playoffs. Ace, the offlane Batrider to the mid lane, goes Arise as the OD. Playing the support Shadow Demon will be Rise. Come with me, your Ogre Magi, and that leaves Hani as the safe lane farming Luna.
And already a lot of aggression coming out from TT. I think of it as a team because that was the first team that I knew by the acronym TT.
That's definitely a repetitive name. They didn't actually get any wards down though. They just kind of jaunted towards bottom. They saw Hani there, Hani there, and just backed off. So it's another role swap for Fnatic. They put Hani on. Well, he was playing the safe lane, I suppose, last game. But it was really more of like a ganker on the Tiny, going Arcane Boots, then into a Blink. We've seen him playing support for this team. We've seen Arise going mid on tempo controllers like Brew, and now he's playing the OD mid. They're kind of all over the place with their drafts, to be honest. The two consistent things have been Rise on support, and Ace playing something that's tempo controller-esque in the offlane. But outside of that, it's like you can flip a coin and you'll get something different every time here for Fnatic's drafts.
Tinker doing something very different and not putting the Tidehunter off lane, and that's fully what Fnatic expected, using one of the Sentry Wards to block the Ancient spawn. Instead, Quickbow will be top.
Yeah, no Dire Wards here towards the bottom, but they have EGM on support, and they're going to go in with Sing Sing to start. Disruption's ready, there's an Aphotic Shield. If Come With Me tries to stun, he'll do so. Sing Sing will actually turn and go into Rise, but he's going to have to Sakuchi his way out of this. Takes a lot of harassment. And against this tri-lane, it does look like he's going to struggle early on. He'll already be forced to south. That's pretty good for Team Fnatic.
Still, the wave is pushing. They should get some free experience and gold fairly soon.
Yeah, they're going to get some pulls going. Looks like Come With Me will try for it. Doesn't get the stack off in time, but our mid lane, as expected, should be... Oh, gotta fix our stats here. Should be pretty favorable for the OD, but Pycat's just going to sit back and spam overwhelming odds to get some last hits. Try not to get his mana stolen too much. Should be reasonably successful at that. There was a Radiant Sentry Ward plopped down, so that makes life difficult for Sing Sing. While on the top lane, Ace, bit of an easier time here. He's getting his levels. Bulbous harassed him a bit. Already hits level 3. Hasn't used up too much regen. Still sitting on 3 tangos. That's pretty good versus Skywrath.
Yeah, pretty good indeed. And, I mean, Koikba can't really contribute that much to a kill, too. He has gone the more offensive build with 0 points in Kraken Shell, but still, it's a Batrider with boots first, and with Conkshot recently nerfed, not an easy kill.
Yeah, there's a bit of an engagement brewing here bottom lane. Rise has he's waiting for that 2-minute rune. Unfortunately for him, it's a bounty rune, which is nice to get. But he'd love to set up this kill. They have detection for Sing Sing. Nothing doing. Rise might be in trouble now. Disrupts the Weaver. EGM just keeps on chopping him with that sword. He has a shield if he wants to tower dive. Sing Sing's going to run his way out. They're actually going to have to back off to protect him. Not one more Sakuchi will make his way out. A lot of action here bottom lane. Now a Lucent Beam on EGM. They've even drawn Hani into this skirmish. EGM may have to Roche deny. He's trying to run up the hill. No shield for 8 seconds. No stuns for Come With Me. Needs the body blocks. He's getting them. Lucent Beam. Jams it in. Nice first blood there for Fnatic.
Well played by Come With Me.
That was some good body blocking.
Indeed, Pycat getting very low in mid.
Taking a lot of harassment from the OD. Arise, no follow-up to finish that kill. Went for the Quelling Blade. Now it's the bottle as well. So this will allow him to see us a bit more against your OD, and Legion does have decent base damage, but end of the day, you still got 86 on Arise, not to mention the Astral timing to throw you off. So Pycat will fall behind, but he gets his levels. That's the main thing here.
Yeah, I mean, melee heroes with Quelling Blade are not a bad way to deal with OD. I remember people used to pick Lifestealer and just use Feast and Quelling Blade and just try and outlast hit them, and it's alright.
Yeah, and there's really no way the OD is going to kill you unless the support comes in with that particular matchup, and I'd say the same is pretty much true here for the Legion Commander. 77 health, he's pretty durable. He can pick up his boots very soon if he wants to, and he's got decent base armor. Or she, I should say. He being Pycat, not the Legion.
So let's see what build Hani goes for. He's sitting on a nice fat stack of gold, 1200. He could go an early Aquila to try and take this tower down. Also, Midas, fairly greedy, not really Luna style, but Hani does like his Midas.
You're The Astral to set up mid. Come with me. Lumbers in, gets off the stun, and this will force out a teleport. Actually, that one gets canceled. So if they make a go mid again, there won't be any backup there for a little while. Let's see. Yeah, Bulba just going to be pulling. Everyone's fairly passive here, although at the bottom room, we might have a bit of a skirmish. Pycat, it's level 5. If he had his boots, could potentially chase Come With Me. At least try to harass him, but without that, just going to back off. Try to get that experience mid, and that bounty rune will help to make up for the OD denies. Arise doing very well in the lane. You mentioned he has a good OD. Already 12 denies, 24 CS. Good start for him.
Yeah, it's like way better than the other heroes that I've seen, aside from Magnus.
Yeah, his Magnus was pretty good last game. He had, considering the matchup, a lot of nice 2-hero RPs, but there was just no follow-up. He just stone gaze and it's all over. Bottom lane, Come With Me, taking decent harassment here from Sing Sing. But Sing Sing also taking a lot of his own. With the Soul Catcher on EGM, he drops low, then heals Sing Sing to keep him alive. For now, he's okay.
Man, they got lucky. If the Soul Catcher went on Sing Sing, I think they would have killed him with a Lucent Beam.
Yeah, he lost like 2/3 of his health, even without it.
And Team Tinker, things are going like okay for them. The laning phase isn't that bad. Koikva, probably saving it for a fast Blink Dagger too, so he's going to be a force to reckon with in a couple minutes time. And they do have a relatively snowbally lineup, and they also need to get a lot of kills on Legion Commander, and that's the only way she's going to catch up versus this OD.
Yeah, and they don't really have like the best setup for a Legion, right? I mean, until Pycat gets Blink, he's got to just basically run in. And that's not the easiest thing to do. Tidehunter is close to his Blink for Koikva, and looks that he may rush it. So I suppose this will be your solution to the lack of other initiation. Concussive shot's not too great for that.
Well, they can still like Satyroid Pycat with Abaddon Shield as well as press the attack. So she's
There's still Astral though, right? Like, and Disruption.
Yes, there is.
Oh hey, look at me! I'm coming to duel you. No, you're not. Sit down. Yeah, they can keep Pycat off, but with the Tide Blink, that could be irrelevant. Quickfoot does appear to be either rushing that or maybe even a mech, but his mana will be taxed if he goes that route. So.
A lot of people are just saving their gold, just waiting to see how the game develops. Pani has gone for the Aquila Arise. Not sure if he's going for a Force Staff or Midas first. Tidehunter probably Blink first. Could go for a mech. So a lot of things up in the air.
Hani, you are out way too far bottom lane. He did not expect this rotation to come in. Sakuchi cooling down in 3. Another nuke from the Scarlet. Disruption's there, but that's only going to allow Sing Sing to set up surrounding him. Hani will end up going down. Nothing Rise could have done to prevent that. You just got a little too aggressive. No Observer Ward bottom. Considering that, he was out pretty far.
Indeed. And Ace halfway to his Blink Dagger. Koikva finally hitting level 6. And things should start developing fairly shortly. They don't really want to give Luna the free farm, and she is just so vulnerable at this time. Level 5, 700 HP, no BKB, no T1 tower down. It's a very good time to just kill Hani a couple times so that she's irrelevant.
Yeah, we've just seen so much action with the double rune spawns in this patch, and that Luna picks have struggled a bit in the laning stage, but so they do have good defensive support.
Oh, he's TPing mid, trying to get a kill on Arise, but Come With Me sitting right there.
Yeah, Pycat with a lot of backup. Koikva and Bulba are marching in. They've got the Astral ready to go. Come With Me with the stun available. Only level 3. They're teleport on your Shadow Demon. There will be Blink Ravage. Not going to matter. They dual Arise as well. They'll steal his damage, bring him down. Even if the Shadow Demon had been ready, wouldn't have mattered. EGM also in danger bottom lane. Manda falling here to the Luna. Shield in a second. The Lucent Beam might just be enough to bring him down anyway. It will. Kill for a kill there, but it is an OD for an Abaddon, and they do get some damage on the Legion Commander. Got off the duel before that fight ended.
You Come With Me in the right place at the right time, but they needed the Shadow Demon there to disrupt. I mean, that's still really difficult.
Even if he had been, there's still Blink Ravage. He might have just gotten stunned and
he might have
himself anyway.
Yeah, it would have been if he was like super proper positioning, maybe. But I mean, that's just not an easy gank to see coming, or sorry, gank to prevent. I mean, they saw it coming. They saw the Blink Dagger on Tidehunter. They saw him missing, but what really can you do?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how Xiao8 used to play for LGD back in the day, where he'd get his Blink and then he'd just teleport to another lane, immediately smoke and go for a kill. That's a very fast Tidehunter Blink. No Arcane Boots picked up, didn't go for anything else, just straight into the Blink. You don't really expect Tide to have a Blink and be ganking that early at 8 minutes.
I think it's way better than the Mech Rush.
Yeah, we saw the mech rush last game, but it was after Arcane Boots at least. Still, struggle to get into position to fight a lot of times. So it's where you need another hero to initiate if you want to go that route.
And Arise will be going for the Midas, and that was a really well-timed gank to slow that down.
Still a decent Midas timing, but it could have been really fast. And Arise is still your leader in net worth. Well, not in net worth, but in CS. 54 CS. Close to the top of the charts, up there with the Luna.
What is Luna gonna get? Is it gonna be double Midas?
No, please, honey. Oh my goodness, we've seen a lot of Midases lately. From Alliance, we saw Hani go for his Midas last game on the safe lane Tiny.
I think it's gonna be a Midas.
Can they get away with it though? There's a haste rate on Pycat now. Ravage is cooling down in 25.
Well,
Weaver's a good tower diver. These heroes are aggressive for Tinker in the mid game.
they have Batrider with Blink Dagger now, so that should be able to get some ganks. And Team Tinker doesn't have the strongest 5-man. I mean, I don't think it's the optimal item, but maybe he can get away with it. Yeah, we'll see.
Midas for the Luna now delivered or picked up rather. As Pycat chases on to come with me top lane. He has a duel ready to go. He's gonna purge himself, but then he stacks off. Not really content with his opening there. Does force out a teleport. Not a big commitment for him.
Batrider smoked up, looking for a gank on top lane, and Arise getting looped around him mid.
Blink Ravage to fly straight onto a Rise. The silence from the Skyred, securing that kill. Rise, he's just got too many places to be. He's got to be top, so he teleports there. But then they go mid instead. He's just being outmaneuvered now. There's only so much one Shadow Demon can do. And with the double Midases, these other heroes can't really offer too much assistance. They tried to make a go top on Saint Saint, who's gone for a Midas of his own. They can't jump him in time. He's able to Sakuchi away to safety. Tinker won't pressure this tower too much. I also want to point out they did a good job giving EGM his fairly reasonable timing level 6. Let him have the mid farm for a couple levels. Or a couple minutes, I should say. So he's got his ultimate now, and it'll be much more difficult to deal with in the fight. No Doom to remove that borrowed time.
I bet Hani's like, well, they can only ravage one of us. We're gonna get value out of the Midas.
That's one school of thought. The other is that all these heroes can tower dive and kill you.
Koikwa's been very active though. Every time Ravage is up, boom, smoke, get a kill, or just not smoke and get a kill. And Fnatic have not been really able to react appropriately, or just get a successful gank with the Batrider yet. At the same time, Sing Sing is farming away to generally not Weaver's strength, but I don't know. Will he be able to stand toe-to-toe with a Luna and or a OD late game? Probably not. I guess maybe with Legion Commander's help, but Legion is a little underfarmed.
Yeah, only has the one duel so far. Not getting a ton of damage. Needs that Blink Dagger for Pygat, but this ain't gonna help. Gets lasted, pulled back into Arise. The OD ult's ready to go. More heroes teleporting in. Silence onto Arise though. Mystic Flare, and then the duel to turn this one around, but the defensive disruption. Quakefoot blinking in, gets the Anchor Smash off. Doesn't win the duel, but does survive and gets the kill. Quakefoot now tanking into Eclipse will end up going down. It's a double for Hani. It's a drive-by from the Luna mid lane. Vroom, vroom. Secures a big one.
Very nice defensive disrupt by Rise there. That allowed the OD to get his ultimate off, and then that was enough damage for Hani to clean up.
Well, Mask of Madness now for Hani. And it's going to be kind of that Eternal Envy approach to the Luna where you just try to outmaneuver the split push, and you die occasionally perhaps, but you just constantly keep the lanes in. And that creates space for your OD, it lets your supports roam around. It does increase your farm speed a lot if you're left unchecked.
Ogre has gone for the one, or it was a 1-3-1, now a 2-3-1. With the buffs of multicast, I think getting Fire Blast early is a lot better. Ignite does more damage, point for point. But still, you pick him for the multicast, not for the multicast ignites.
Yeah, if you want spread damage, it seems like there might be other supports that offer that.
Hani, Rutro.
He's got the Mask of Madness cooling down. Can he just run away in time? No, not against... Oh, that's not going to help. Ravage the fly. Rise dodges it, but before he can even walk back in to disrupt, Hani's already dead, and he's going to pay for it with his own life. I mean, he moved through that perfectly as a Shadow Demon. Just dodging the round. Doesn't matter. Still die. He needs like a blink or a force.
They have to be better prepared for Koikwa's timing. I mean, he's somewhat predictable. Every time Ravage is up, they smoke and get a kill, but at the same time, Fnatic's just falling for it every time. It's like, hey, let's just farm, you know, way far away from our tower.
Sing Sing's in trouble here. Lassoed pulled back in. The Ogre and the Bat combined. They score a kill there on the Weaver, who Had something coming on... No, actually, no, maybe he didn't have anything coming in the courier. I guess not.
His gold.
Oh, he's only got 43 CS. Yeah, he's pretty poor. I was feeling like he should have more farm for the Midas, but...
Honey, even dying twice is still 6,200 on net worth. He is massive.
Yeah, he's 2.5 pay up on the enemy Weaver. And that is their one position. Tinker's utility core is doing well with the Tide Legion, but they're not going to carry this solo late game. Maybe a Refresher Tide can do it. At some point, though, you will want farm on this Weaver.
Pyket's all by his lonesome. He does have Blink and Tread, so some sort of damage on his own.
The one thing that I do worry about with that Mask of Madness is if they don't disrupt or Astral him, then Pycat is just going to wreck him with a duel. Like, you imagine Blade Mail while he's Mask of Madness going on you? That Legion will shred the Luna new one. They'll find Rise here, mid lane, Gush. They'll bring him down. Winner for Pycat. Nice Legion play. Just knows, yeah, I don't really need it for the lockdown. I just want to get damage, so the last second duel to secure that.
Fnatic just seems like they don't care about dying. It's like, well, we are going to incur casualties, but we will outfarm it. It's a strange way to approach mass ganks.
Kind of reminds me of Alliance a little bit. It's like, we know we might lose the laning stage, and we might not be able to take fights, but we're just going to split push you to death. And Fnatic, I think they could take fights if they'd, go for like the early Luna BKB and want to, but this has definitely been effective for them so far. The Luna's up to 7k net worth, pushes in the top lane, forces rotation, has the level 2 ultimate now, tower in deny range. They're going to multicast and go for the tower last hit. It goes the way of Han. He's got Eclipse ready to go. They got to be careful about this engagement. Pycat trying to purge himself, and then the Eclipse baited out. He blinks out just in the nick of time before the damage can come through from that demonic purge. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a level 2 Eclipse down the drain. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Ravage is also up. This is a great time for Tinker to fight. Well, they're still going to try to jump in mid, but EGM has his borrowed time ready. While that was happening, they lost their OD in the bottom lane. The Skywrath and Legion combined. EGM looking to be in trouble, though. Chased out by Come With Me and Ace, and will end up going down. The Blink forward from Pycat gets off the duel. Oh, more damage into Pycat. Plus 38 now. It's starting to stack up. That's almost double his base damage from duels alone. And yeah, while that was happening, they lost their OD bottom. I guess it wasn't a duel, just a Mystic Flare. Because he had it ready to go mid. He's going to chase Rise now. He's moving quickly. Get the Haster, and they can jump in pretty far. Quakefa, no Ravage, though. That was used earlier, so they're going to back off.
Man, poor Rise, 0-4 and 2. He had a great Midas timing at around 9 minutes time, but still just has not really made too much headway on his 4-step, and he really needs that so he can escape Tidehunter, so he can push people out of Mystic Flare, and just it's not been happening. But yeah, he's still more farm than Sing Sing.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is, it looks like oh my god, they're feeding on this OD Luna, and the OD is still right there with the Tidehunter Legion. Yeah, Midas is the reason, but considering that your OD's 0-4 to be even, that's pretty good. 95 CS would explain it, and Hani, who's 5-3, is he's still on top of the net worth chart. But my worry, Ben, is when Tinkers start going for these more aggressive fights. Like, when we see them group up as 3 or 4.
Well, they just need BKBs,
yeah,
right, on Luna and OD. And
they got to find the space to farm them.
Mm-hmm.
This tier 1 mid it's healthy for now, but Glyph is down. Actually, you look at Tinker, they really don't push very well. That is kind of an issue with them.
Their lineup doesn't really allow for it, and also the way they play doesn't really allow for it either. Sing Sing's usually trying to accrue some gold on his own, and then Koikba and Pycat are very aggressive in ganking, and yeah, they just don't have anything versus towers. Press the attack.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
And pushing into a Bat Rider is just usually a terrible idea, as well as pushing into Eclipse.
Yeah, and we also, to be fair to Fnatic, haven't really seen them execute perfectly yet. If they're able to get off the defensive disruptions, the defensive astrals to dodge a Ravage, to protect a hero that's being dueled.
They're executing the right click on creeps properly. That's what they need.
Yeah, that's step 1. Step 2 will be the spells. But like say the Shadow Demon gets a 4-staff or something, then this really gets a lot easier for them.
That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess it's wishful thinking. Rise does walk right by a Dire Observer Ward here. What do you think Koikfa does here? Does he just go straight Refresher? He's already got the Arcane Boots, or do you even look towards a mech?
I would say Pipe is really good versus Fnatic's lineup. Depends on how poor Abaddon is, and he's getting pretty poor. And it also depends on when they want to take the fights in the game. They could also go Vlads and do Roshan very early, so that's not a bad idea either. Refresh is much better for like 30, maybe like 40 plus minutes in, and Pipe is much better for like 25 to 35. And I think Fnatic's actually gonna get really strong around like 30, 35 too.
Yeah, like you mentioned, when they get the BKBs, when Batrider maybe completes his BOTs or even his own BKB for 3 of them, there is no solution for the lasso, but that's only assuming you're in position. And as we've seen time and again, being in position against Batrider is never easy, no matter how well your supports are playing. They did get a force on Quake though, so he doesn't rush the refresher, doesn't go for the pipe. Just more mobility for him so they can get these jumps. And Come With Me will be the target. Pycat searching for a duel. He's going to get it off and then runs back in. Mystic Flare securing that one. Plus 52 damage for Pycat. Tinker invested a lot in getting this Legion his early kills, but he's now the second in terms of net worth, and maybe he's their real one position. Sing Sing has so far just been farming, still way down in the net worth charts.
Yeah, they've been playing very well around Pycat, and Pycat has just been looking for any weakness in Fnatic's positioning, and they have a lot considering how greedily they're playing.
I love always using duels. I've seen a few teams run Legion where they like the Legion reserves it to just lock a hero down, but to keep the Legion commander relevant later on, you need to steal damage. So even using it when a hero's about to die anyway, that's a good way to pad your stats. And Legion stat padding is relevant. They're going to push in mid now. Everybody grouped up. Fnatic going to let that tower fall. No trade really yet. They're trying to move the Batrider in top to make the creep equilibrium work in their favor, and this time Tinker will de-ward. There's no tier 1s left. Do they go for a Roach? They're thinking about it.
Tinker finally overtaking the gold charts. Oh, it's a fake back with a smoke.
Uh-oh. That Sentry Ward, just ensuring there's no vision here. Fnatic may have saw everyone go missing. Just assume they're either Roaching, or they're pushing in the bottom lane, because they are showing the Weaver there. But neither is the case. They're kind of trying to confuse Fnatic, and this could be very effective.
Actually, Fnatic kind of thinks it's coming, though. They pinged around the T2 on bottom, and they also pinged right around the Ancients, too. So they think they actually smoked and went either top or bottom instead of going to Roshan. I think Roshan's the much easier play for them.
They're not a very good Roche lineup, though, Tinker. They have Gush minus armor, but that's pretty much it.
They have a lot of sustain, though. They can do it.
Just takes forever.
Yeah, they don't have that much right click. They need a medallion, but I guess no one really can get it. Maybe Abaddon
or something. They might get a duel off here, though. Arise, don't show yourself near that creep wave. The unpause comes through. Oh, he's dead. Duel's here. There's nothing to back him up. They do have Rise walking in, but too late. Another winner. As Pycat improves to 66 stolen damage. That's a Sacred Relic. This is getting to be a bit of a problem. Mask of Madness. I mean, I suppose if it goes late enough, Hani can always trade this out, but you're not gonna be able to win a man fight against Legion with this amount of damage. Not with that bonus incoming that you take.
Still, he's just gonna farm all around the map, though. Like, his net worth is just gonna keep accelerating with the BOTs and with the Midas.
That's true. BKB will be Pycat's next choice. Doesn't really solve too many problems, though. There's still the defensive Astral and Disruption. There's still the Lasso. But, and the Purge as well. But they're going to go in on Ace now. Top lane, Concussive Shot will hit him. Pycat searching, the Ravage comes through. That connects on Hani. He goes down immediately. There's a duel ready for Pycat. Is he going to use it on Come With Me? Force Step. That sets up the duel. Will he get enough procs? He will. More damage. 80 now. Oh my goodness. This Legion commander is a well-decorated war veteran already. 2-0 and 5.
I think Ravage too strong.
Yeah.
Very nice 4-staff too onto the Legion commander. Koikva's just been dominating Fnatic, though, as well as Bulba. Those two players have just been putting pressure on every single one of Fnatic's heroes.
Yeah, I'm talking a lot about Pycat because he's the one basically getting fed damage, but it's really the team setting him up for the most part. The Ravages from Koikva, the good offensive 4-staff play there, the Mystic Flares from Bulba. Their entire game plan has largely just been 4 protect 1 with, it's kind of a 3 help 1 who then the rest of them protect the other one strat. Where it's not just that they're getting kills and creating space for the Weaver, but they're also feeding what could be their main carry or at least secondary carry late game. It's a pretty cool way to play it.
Weaver's finally catching up. Is number 3 in terms of net worth, and Arise has just fallen even behind Koikva at this point, number 6.
Yeah, not Koikva. If he wants to go Refresher next, he's up to 1,700 gold as the first major component of that pretty much ready. BKB now secured on Pycat. Let's allow him to go toe-to-toe with anyone in this game. OD won't really be able to offer much.
He should have a BKB by this point. He should have Treads, Bottle, Midas, 4-7, and BKB.
The OD, you mean?
Yeah, he just hasn't found
He's 0-5. Yeah. CS is still good. He's still leading the Weaver. That's actually pretty impressive, just kept the CS up, but he's just been the object of much hate from Tinker. No Roche now. They have their Lincoln Sphere on Saint Saint. They're going to throw that. No. Oh, that's the Abaddon ship. Looks a lot like a Lincoln Sphere. But they have his Lincoln Sphere soon. And they'll take the Roche in for now. Pykat's going to claim it. He can get really aggressive with his Blinken duels and have a second life to recover if things don't go his way. Also protects his hard-earned damage bonus.
And now the BKBs are actually kicking in for Team Tinker, not for Fnatic, who I think it's much more needed for. And with LC being that farmed, I don't know.
BKB doesn't help you split push too much.
Still, they have Blink initiates. Oh no, they want
to pop the Aegis, but Ravage is ready. Koikva in position. Duels Hani, steals his damage, looks for the ace kill as well. +1, +94 already. He's nearing the 3-digit point. Does he chase anyone more down here? Come with me. Multicast will secure the Aegis. That's gone now, but Lulu's come with me as well. So it's a 2-for-1 if you want to count the Aegis as the 1, but no gold in their pockets. Costly deaths here, and Luna's not even ahead anymore, Ben. After that latest fight, on top will be your Legion.
SD.
And they're not done yet. They're searching for Rise bottom lane. Saint Saint trying to chase him in. Rise does have a defensive disrupt. Very difficult to get a kill with only those two. Quake for Ravages, though. Every time that they jump, he gets 2-3 heroes. There's no defensive disruption or astral. And they just get free kills.
Yeah, no BKBs, I think, is the biggest part. Luna just gets destroyed. Maybe they could have used Eclipse to kill him before the Ravage, but still, he would have just chased him. Yeah. But, I mean, that's just way worse than they expected the fight to turn out.
BGM now getting a little confident here, pushing the middle lane. He's going for the Ags on Abaddon. I actually haven't seen this in play. Have you seen it much?
I think it's ownage, but as most damage mitigation spells go, it's very difficult to see in team fight how effective it is, similar with Crimson Guard, but it's very, very good on paper.
Okay, looking forward to it. Pycat BKB now charging in. He's got a Blink Dagger ready. Koikva will get the Gush off and a Rise. He does have a defensive Astral, but he was silenced. Unable to do anything. Bulbug managed to get that. Oh no, that wasn't Bulbug. Yeah, Rise will end up going down now.
Okay, they're just falling apart now.
The initiation from Taker has just been too good. The Blink Daggers on Koikva, as well as Pycat. Every time they jump in, they're just unable to do anything.
Yeah, it was going okay when Fnatic's T1s were up because the amount of space that Team Tinker could maneuver was just very limited. But now that the T1s are down, they just can't get anywhere. I mean, can't come with me. Oh,
they tried to force Steph come with me up the hill. Bobo will silence the creep. That's a very cheeky attempt, but not successful, unfortunately.
That was cool.
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
I do. That's one cool thing about Tigers. I feel like they're one of those teams that, similar to what we saw of. Do you remember that Cloud9 game at MLG where they did like the triple force staff initiation against DK?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Tigger exhibits some of that, where they're like thinking outside the box and a little bit beyond your standard solid Dota. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's cool to see that kind of next level decision making.
And like the test of faith, blink in with Tinker.
Yeah, that type of thing. Or the fountain hooks. It might have been reviled at the time, but certainly an unusual way to play. 108 damage on the Legion, though. He's hitting for about 250. The Luna is hitting for 150.
One of the more cheeky things I've seen was a Tinker in 6.81. He just got really, really fat, and they had a Kunkka on their team. All the Kunkka would do is sit at fountain and X him. And that's literally all he did for the last 10 minutes of the game. And they really couldn't do anything versus them.
Huh.
He just TPs, blinks.
Unless you can kill him in like that half second or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, he's just sitting there waiting to press a return if he's in any sort of danger.
Yeah.
Like I was like, well, what can you do versus? Well, I mean, you have to like, let the team.
Obviously, you have a Hero City at base.
Yeah.
That is the one downside.
Worth it. It's like the Crystal Maiden strategy of before.
If it works, it works. Well, the split push isn't coming as fast anymore. That's the other thing. We don't see the Luna. For a while, we saw Hani just occupying these two camps, pushing in the wave around here, but he's now more restricted. He's sitting back in his own woods. He's farming the jungle. He is farming that jungle quickly. Picks up the ultimate orb. The item progression is still there, but it's not. There's no pressure on the map, which means if Tinker want to start forcing the issue, they can do that soon. Maybe they set up here for the Weaver bottom lane. Sing Sing is pretty far out.
Yeah, Legion is just fat now. Number 1 on net worth, has the AC, or sorry, will have the AC relatively soon. 108 damage on duel. Sing Sing.
Even if he goes down, this is a 5-hero gank to kill him. He hides in the trees. Hani's going to search for him. He doesn't walk in that one spot where Sing Sing is. They throw the Shadow Poison. He's going to run through their entire team. Where's the detection? They have a gem actually on Ace. But Ace isn't in range for this, and now they'll catch out the Weaver. Sing Sing get a time-lapse and try to retreat out. Still caught in the same place, though. And now it's Kuji, but they've got a refresh already on Koikba. Watch out. Tidehunter's going to get aggressive here in a second. Looking for the jump in. They win a duel to start. They look for the Ace follow-up kill. He's able to retreat. 2 dead with double Ravage still online. No Weaver down. 19-7 your score. Forget about the grass, though. Tinker just in own mode.
When's the last time Fnatic got a kill?
We can tell from the graph. It was 16 minutes or so. There's been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 unanswered kills. It looks like.
Wow, it was the Abaddon kill that was so long ago. Man,
Oh yeah, it's like that was another game.
that was a really long time ago.
Top lane, Hani's in danger here. Blink Dagger's cooling down. He's gonna have to cancel this blink from Pycat. 5 seconds to go. The Lucent Beam will come through. Boots will travel in for your Bat Rider. Pycat doesn't get off the duel in time. No, he gets lassoed, pulled back into a cliff, but Koikva's ready. Ravage number 1 will fly. Now they get the duel off. Ravage number 2 will connect, and Pycat makes short work of that first hero. He's going to look for the second Blinks onto a Rise, has the ultimate, and will manage to bring him down, but doesn't bring down Pycat. A 3-for-1 exchange for 2 Ravages, and up to 144 friggin' damage. And I think he's just getting started.
And gem down.
Once Legion gets this much stolen, like, you just can't stop him from getting more. Every fight, he's pretty much guaranteed to win a duel, as long as he uses it at the right time.
And the Ags. A good old EGM.
I feel like EGM hasn't had to do anything this game. After the laning stage obviously did his job, but, you know, all Abaddon really does is throw a shield on Legion when he runs in. He's not really being forced to play defense. It's an EGM dream game.
Oh, here we go. More duel.
Easy duel. More damage. Rise will give it up too. 162. Keep that counter rolling.
Well.
Yeah, I think that sums this game up. Welp. Not sure what you do now if you're Fnatic. Can't split push because the Legion keeps on killing you and stealing your damage. Can't really fight at all.
You'd be very cheeky with Manta on Luna.
Try to bait out a spell or something.
And just split push and be elusive and play it like an illusion hero. I think that's their best shot of trying to come back in this game because they can't fight the Legion, not head on.
Can't ignore Pycat for long either, though. He's got an AC. This means the buildings will start to drop. Come with me. Caught out on the high ground. Does have a Yule Scepter. But Pycat says, let's force this, man. Let's rumble. Won't be able to get in range there. He'll retreat out as Tinker group up mid, and Sing Sing, who's quietly been farming.
Okay,
That space was created. That's a Desolator AC.
You see that tower just get demolished? That's without the DD on Legion, too.
Desolator AC plus, what is that, 315 damage or 318 damage, something like that? Yeah, look at that. Just dicing.
Okay.
Yeah, Fnatic, your base is dropping. They'll glyph. They can't split push in time. They really can't fight into this Legion Commander. 448 damage on him currently. Disgustingly fat. He's basically a tiny. at 32 minutes, and then some. He'll bring down the building there. He'll head straight towards bottom. One lane of Rax already just wiped off the face of the map. They multicast, it's a 1x. Not going to be nearly sufficient. Pycat looks for more. Meanwhile, they lose the Batrider in the middle lane. He was trying to go for a backstep. That ain't going to happen. Come duel. So is Pycat. The disruption will prevent the winner, but won't prevent the kill. Pycat fights his way out. EGM popping his ultimate, keeping his team healthy during this time with that Agative Scepter. Tinker crushing face. As Ace buys back, may die again if Koikfa wants to dive him. Pycat finds yet another kill on the other side of the fight. And they take out 2 lanes of Rax, still yet to lose a hero.
That Ags is pretty ownage.
Yeah, Baden Ags did a lot of work. Nobody was dropping in that fight.
35%.
Yeah. That helped.
It's really good versus Luna Eclipse. Well, they don't need a pipe if they have that.
Not to mention, yeah, it basically is. It's like a super fight. The other thing is that the Legion heal really helps keep Pycat in the fight as well. A couple 100 points for him. And now he's just going to try to solo Roche. And he might not quite be able to do this, but he'll have EGM support. Throws out the shield, the heal, and of the
Frostborn.
Yeah,
Or Curse of Avernus, as it may be.
I don't think we're allowed to call it that anymore. Yeah. We're violating some Blizzard.
We are. Dota's not.
We might get Valve in trouble, though.
Oh.
No, that should be okay. They're going to lose Ace, too. Looks like. Blink. Yep, there's no Blink Dagger available. Oh, no, not blinking. Pycat was busy shopping or something. Either way, Sing Sing finds the solo kill.
He's close to Rapier territory in terms of damage.
Yeah, he is closing in. And blinking forward is Koikfa. Double Ravage not up, he's only got the 1. But that should be enough as Rise, once again, gives up his damage. A sacrifice on the altar of Tinker. And they're looking for more kills here. Ani does have a T-piece. No, actually no boots to travel for 15. He's going to have to run the hell away. He's got a Mask of Madness ready to go. Continues to circle, but this only buys time. Ani, no, not that direction. That's the wrong way to go.
Boba is beyond godlike.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this just got out of hand really quickly.
Double Midas, Mask of Madness, Luna. Was it just too greedy?
Well,
they tried to play keep away, but Tinker just it seems you can't do that very easily against this Legion Tide. Koikfa's movements were on point.
Push towers too. When Legion Commander was still relatively weak, they never took a good 5-on-5 when they have like Eclipse plus Astral, and they didn't really protect the OD at all. So a lot of things just didn't happen for Fnatic. Their early first 10 minutes was pretty good though.
EGM with the Manor tanking up the tier 3 while the tier 2 still being sieged out. Now they break high ground. Pycat chopping wood. Looking for an Ogre here. The Yule Scepter used twice. One by each team, I believe. And then winner. Plus 200 damage essentially for Pycat at this stage. Can he actually break it though? He's at 198. They're going to Force Staff Arise in. Actually Force Staffed himself in. Alright, well that's one way to give up your life. GG. Fnatic go out in style.
Why does he always disconnect?
Why the pause?
It's the disconnect.
The Arise pause?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The manner disconnect.
Someone will have mercy on us. It's come with me, but the struggle continues now for Team Fnatic. They started off 2-0 on the Summit too, and now, Ben, as they face some of the tougher, more established teams, they are 2-4. Tinker improving to 4-0, undefeated.
To be fair, they look better than they did yesterday. Fnatic.
That's
and the day before. But, well, still trying to find that rhythm.
Yeah. They're really struggling. They would not be doing well if this was Guitar Hero. Let's see. What do we have next on the list today? Coming up next is going to be a big one. Na'Vi Secret Grudge Match. That will be in 10 minutes, hopefully. Then Cloud9 versus PR. And we wrap the day up with Tinker versus Secret. 2 of the hottest teams from Europe. You wanna make some predictions for these games, buddy?
Well, Tinker Secret is going to be awesome. I think Secret will wipe Na'Vi.
Okay. But they played a Starladder game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a meaningless game because both teams already qualified for the LAN finals. Na'Vi was actually winning that game. Then there was like the DDoS issues, and both teams said, whatever, it's a tie. We don't really care. So you say you don't believe in Dondo and 4, but
I do not.
I trust in Havos.
Not yet.
I would put all your rares on Na'Vi. Bet your Arcanas, boys. Go in deep. All right, that wraps up our game, though. Congratulations to Tinker, now 4-0 in the Summit 2 by gtoy.com. We will hopefully take a short 10-minute break, then return as Secret gets ready to face Na'Vi. Stay tuned. You're watching Beyond the Summit.
You got spare game codes or any digital goods?